it's Carly here for MFT, and today I have 3 super easy card designs for critters for when you don't have time to make a whole scene card, or maybe you're a little intimidated by it. Now before we talk about card design, let's talk about coloring critters. I love to color critters, but I still feel like a newbie and it takes me forever. So since you don't have that much time to watch craft videos, I just made a quick little color chart in case you were wondering, and now we can move on to the card design. Okay, so this first card uses a little bit of repeated stamping. I am going to grab a sentiment from the Little Rascal set, and I am going to stamp it on my card panel a few different times in Distress Oxide ink. Now, if I'm being honest, I didn't really have a plan when I started stamping. I decided to just kind of wing it, stamp it a few times, see how I liked it, and when I got to the last one, I left room above it for the little raccoon to stand. So after stamping all the sentiments, then I added my little raccoon with some foam adhesive, and I borrowed a hat and some confetti from the Presents and Cupcake set, and I really love how it turned out. Okay, so the next card design is great for when you don't have time to color. So I used a very big High Dynamics, which is one of my favorites. I use it all the time. I die cut from a card panel, and then I'm going to stamp the Little Rascal raccoons on it. By die cutting first and then stamping the raccoons, it kind of gives the idea that the little guys are going to be peeking out from behind the letters that I'm going to add back in. So after I've got both raccoons stamped, I'm going to add a sentiment that I borrowed from the Presents and Cupcake set, and I want to make sure that it is going to be perfectly straight. So I've grabbed a piece of acetate that I keep in my MISTI. I've put it on top of that card panel. I'm going to ink and stamp onto that first, just to check and make sure that I like where it's at and that it's straight and everything. And then since I'm happy, I'm going to wipe off that acetate, put it in my MISTI for later. But if I hadn't been happy, that would have given me the opportunity to fix the stamp before I stamped it onto my project and made it permanent. And now that I'm happy with all that stamping, I need to add some color. So I'm going to do some quick ink blending on a piece of scrap paper, and then I'm going to die cut that with a very big high. Next to adhere that high panel that we made first to a card front, I'm using some strong double-sided tape around the edges and then a little bit of glue pen around the die cut letters so that everything stays really nice and stuck down. With that stamped and die cut panel adhered to my card, I've got the perfect place to put my colorful high that I die cut. And I also die cut a couple of white ones so that I can layer them up together and give it a little bit of dimension. And I'm just using a glue pen to adhere 2 white letters under every colorful letter so that it has a little bit of dimension, and then it's easy to adhere it right onto that card front because my die cut panel that we stamped earlier is the perfect template. Now I finished off by giving my little raccoons some rosy cheeks and coloring their noses and their mouths, and I'm going to call it good. So my last card design is all about circles, but I think any shape would be cute. I've just die cut 3 little circle windows on my card panel, and I'm going to add a stamped sentiment at the bottom. I'm going to use that acetate trick again to make sure that everything is lined up and perfect before I commit to stamping it on my die cut panel. And in this case, I'm really glad I tested on acetate because I did end up moving it before I committed to my panel. Once I've got it stamped, I've got a folded card that I did a little bit of ink blending on just to give the solid blue color behind my windows. And then I've just got to arrange my balloons that I borrowed from the Presents and Cupcake set and my cute little rascals and see where I want them to go. Now, once I've decided, I'm just using a little bit of double-sided tape to attach those die cuts behind the window openings, and then I'm going to use a little bit of foam tape to put that whole panel onto my folded card. Super easy. The only thing I think is next time I think I might place my circle windows a little bit differently, but I still like how it turned out. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you were inspired to craft today, and I hope to see you here again soon. Have a great day and happy crafting!